You are now entering another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of critical thinking. A journey to a wondrous land with boundaries that of clarification. Your next stop, the Sanity Zone.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
So, you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
All right, you're listening to breaking news, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio. Yeah, I come to you late almost every show, right? Because unfortunately, I produce every show here. So if the show before me runs late, I have to do a lot of things closing out that show in order to get to my show. But I'm here. You know, I'm back. And you know, I'm
as mad as hell,
and I'm not
going to take this anymore!
all right. So let's get to some of the stuff here. I gotta close a lot of things out here that I left open. But it's important that we go over a lot of these stories that people, the Democrats don't cover everything. They don't cover everything. They refuse to cover everything, right? So they gave you the Native American when they thought the Native American was the victim. Now that Native American turns out not to be the victim, even though they're still treating him as a victim. That's the thing about it, right? You have the young white male teenager, 15 years old, and they were perfectly fine with seeing him as a monster, right? See him as a white supremacist, see him everything that fits conveniently into what they feel a Trump supporter is. But now that it's different, now that it's a different thing, they don't want to look at it that way. They refuse to look at it that way, as a matter of fact, because it will be them reporting the truth would be actually them highlighting that they are fake news, right? So they've been trying to just swipe it through real quick, unlike Trump, right? Unlike Trump, that they'll stick with a story as long as the hate lasts, right? Let's see. Let me get to some of these stories. I'll get to the Native American and the young guy, Nicholas Sandmann, pretty soon, but I want to jump to another story first. An interesting story. Let me see. This is from the Daily Wire. Well, let me put it up so you guys can see it. All right. Like I've been saying the last few shows, anybody who's listening to the show and wants to be more involved in the show and make it more interactive, I put up the headlines that I'm going over. So if you're on Facebook Live, so you would go to the New Haven Independence Facebook page and you'll see the video live there. And I put up all the headlines so you could go over it with me, right? So this is a Daily Wire. New York Governor Cuomo. I was going to say Mario Cuomo, but it's not Mario. It's his son. I forgot his name. Anyway, New York Governor Cuomo wants to ban the death penalty, except for unborn children. Go ahead and kill those. He's fine with killing the unborn because New York actually passed he actually signed into law this week. Abortions up to the ninth month, and I forgot to confront Joe Ugly on that, because he's saying when the Democrats say that they don't want any restrictions on abortions, they're not ever talking about abortions at 9 months or anything like that. But here we go. New York has legalized abortion going into the 9th month, but Governor Cuomo is against the death penalty. It's insane, right? It's really insane. Let me tell you, I don't know where it is that Democrats live mentally. And a lot of these people, they call themselves Christians, right? I'm not a Christian myself, but being raised a Christian, I know that real Christians have a belief system. Real Christians actually believe that God knows you before you're born, that he knows you in your mother's womb. Real Christians believe that. And for the life of me, I know a lot of people who say they are Christians, but they stick with the Democrats. They vote against this, not just their everyday interests, but against their spiritual interests. That spirituality that they think is going to carry them into the afterlife. They vote against their spirituality. So they say they believe these things, yet they are willing to kill babies in the womb. Oh, that's going too far, killing babies. Oh, well, you believe what you believe, and I'll believe what I believe. That's the beauty of being an American, right? It's the beauty of being an American. You believe your stuff, which I find a lot of the stuff that some of the Democrats believe in disgusting, and I'll believe in my stuff. I find killing babies disgusting, and I consider when my wife got pregnant with my children, they were my children from when we found out she was pregnant. And you understand that men actually should be involved also. People, oh, woman, no, you can't decide on my body. Nobody's deciding on your body. Nobody's deciding on your body. Once there's a life, a third person involved, that third person that you're going to have to take care of basically for the rest of your life, even that once they're grown. My kids are grown. I have my son just turned 31. My daughter's going to turn 29. And they're still my babies. They were my babies from when my wife became pregnant, from when we found out those were our children. That she was pregnant, that there was a life, a third person involved in our relationship. And that was our baby. Right? So don't tell me that I don't have a right to make a decision on my child. Thank God. Thank God. Not that I believe in God, but, it's a saying. Thank Bob, or whoever it is you worship. Thank Bob that my wife believed that was a life, and didn't feel that she needed to abort it, get rid of it, or get mad, or if she was mad at me one day, take it out on the fetus. Thank God for that. Thank Bob for that. But you have people out there who actually believe, look, the man has nothing to do with this decision except as soon as that child is born, they want the man to go into their pocket. They accuse the men of not being involved in the child's life. Yet the man had nothing to do with it, right? In your world, if he has no choice as to bringing them into this world, why should he have the responsibility after you've made the choice? If we're gonna play that game, they should actually start instituting a new law, pass a new law, that if one person is involved in the decision making to a child being born, that one person should have 100% of the responsibility, unless the other person wants to be involved, voluntarily be involved. It's asinine to think that you're the only one who was involved in creating that child. This is what I mean. I don't know where Democrats live in their psyche. They tell you all the time. I hear, well, not me. I've always been there for my children. But I've known men who aren't allowed to have relationships with their children. The women just want, the child support. And then I've known men who don't want to be involved in their child's life. Right? But that person who doesn't want to be involved in the child's life, why should they be chased down for the money if the woman made the decision to have it? The man obviously didn't want it. See, here's the problem. Society has gone crazy. Parenting starts from when that child is conceived. Parenting starts when that child is conceived. Let me tell you, when I would come from work, and my wife's probably going to kill me here. I would come from work, and sometimes I would have a note stuck to the outside of the door. My wife would leave me a note when she was pregnant. Don't come into this house without ice cream, cheese doodles, and this. She would give me a list because she was having all these cravings and everything. And I would have to go and get that before I was able to get home, go into my apartment. Or I would have some crazy person. Because you know how women are when they're crazy. I loved it. I loved my wife being pregnant. But that was part of the parenting process. That child was actually stirring up these feelings in my wife. And it was my job to take care of my wife because she was actually carrying my child. It's all part of the process. Separating them is what has our society where it is today. So many broken homes. So many broken homes. Young kids growing up without their father. Because society made a decision that it's only the woman who has to be the one who makes the decisions on everything when it comes to childbearing. It's insane. It's just insane, and we have to be better as people. We have to be, look, if you're a Christian out there, be a better Christian. You believe in God? You believe that He knew you from the womb? Start acting like it. Stop voting against your interests. We have to be better as people. All right, hold on. I got to get my music up. of course, you know, I went off on a tangent. I forgot to cue up my music. But here we go. All right, you're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
Let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell my other niggas fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna let you fall away. Oh, I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. 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 When I'm up, I still ride for you. Only girl that I want is you. I ain't looking, but I still found you. Show you something others can't do. Oh, got me feeling no way when they say you the same in their head. So don't go away, I ain't gonna let you go away. I'ma keep you right here to myself. I ain't tryna show no one else. We can keep it on the low, but you can still let them other niggas know. Tell me why you playing with it. I'm just tryna tell you why you playing with it. Them other niggas lying with it. I'ma show you that I ain't the same with it. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell my other niggas to fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna let you fall away. Oh, I'm thinking about when we gon' touch. 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 She said she got a new thing. The way she got me feeling got me dropping on my blue decks. I'm just tryna do things. Get you over here, I'ma show you us a few things. She said she wanna roll, we can go anywhere that you wanna go. She said she wanna be next to me. Ain't no other place you rather be. Got me feeling up when I'm with you. Wanna feel you up when I'm with you. Feeling like a drive when I'm with you. Wonder where you are when I'm with you. And I ain't gonna lie, the way you got me feeling, I'ma take my time. And I ain't gonna lie, girl, you got me feeling your vibe. Oh, I don't wanna let you fall away. I don't wanna go nowhere. Tell my other niggas fall away, cause you found a better one. I don't wanna let you fall away.
All right. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave. All right, people. I want to move on from this story, but I need to emphasize that it's insane. It's insane the way we treat the weakest amongst us. It's really insane, right? And here goes another article. In New York, murderers can't receive lethal injection, but babies can. And I want you to ask yourself, all right, like, I'm not completely against abortion myself. If it's for the benefit of the mother's health, and that means life and death, not because you're depressed, not because you feel a certain way. That's not something you'll get over your feelings. You know, depression, ups and downs. That's part of your life. That's part of everybody's life. We go through peaks and valleys. It's what happens in every person's life. It shouldn't mean you sacrifice the life of your child. Right? It shouldn't mean that. We have to be better as people. The weakest among us. That happens to be a baby, ready to be born, ready to be taken care of, ready to be nurtured. Come on, be better. Be better. Now let's move on to another headline. Okay, I did that one already. Let's see. Oh, here goes one, and I'm not gonna get into this too much, but Kate Hudson says she's raising her child, her daughter. She says she's raising her daughter, and that's important. She says she's raising her daughter to be genderless. So, I pause here because this is so controversial, right? Right now, Democrats like to call Republicans science deniers when it comes to global warming. Right? So they like to call Republicans science deniers when it comes to global warming. That's theoretic. That's theoretic. It hasn't been, they can't, it's an equation that they change the numbers, and each year they come up with different numbers. And for the last 30 years, it's the end of the world anytime soon. Ocasio-Cortez just told us in 12 years, the world was going to end. It's a theoretic hypothesis, global warming. Okay? It is not concrete science. But we're global warming deniers, so that means we're anti-science. But Kate Hudson, who happened to say, she said she's raising her daughter genderless. Well, labeling her your daughter kind of gives her a gender, Kate. But what is wrong with the Democrats? What is wrong with the Democrats that they are science deniers right now? Human biology. Simple. She's your daughter. Now, if she grows up to make a different choice for herself, so be it. To each his own. But don't do this to your children. They're born what they are born. Human biology. Gender assignment is it lives in a social construct, right? It is not science. But let me read a little bit of it. Actress Kate Hudson, in a recent interview that she said in a recent interview that she will raise her baby daughter to be genderless. We still don't know what she's going to identify as, Hudson said in an interview with ABC and AOL. All right, so I think Kate Hudson has a disorder herself, right? And it's a disorder that struck Hollywood entirely. There must be a dumb gene passing around. So they're throwing into whatever is popular, whatever is trending. And they don't understand anything they're talking about because she just said her daughter, and I'll quote her, "We still don't know what she's going to identify as." We still don't know what she's going to identify as. You've just identified her, Kate. But who cares, right? Who cares about facts these days? Nobody cares about anything concrete. It's about how you feel. Let's go with how we're feeling today. It gets crazier and crazier out there. It gets crazy out there. And I'm sure some people will be upset with me for saying this stuff. But I get to have an opinion. I don't hate anyone. I hate actually I hate no one. Look, let me tell you the difference between me and most people, right? You have to be important enough for me to actually generate the emotion that it takes to hate. Right? Same thing. You have to be important enough for me to generate the emotion that it takes to love. Your opinion about me isn't important to me. So I hate no one. I'm cool with whatever you think. And you should be cool with whatever I think. You don't have to agree with me. And I will not agree with you. But give me the right to say stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next story here. This is The Hill. Alyssa Milano, I won't apologize for calling MAGA hats the new KKK hood. Now, hold on a second. Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Hold on. My mic came off. Guess who's back? All right, I'm back. I got my MAGA hat. Call me what you will. This is a campaign slogan, a slogan that happens to be one that actually is encouraging to the people who voted for Donald Trump. Making America great again. It has nothing to do with your race. It has nothing to do with your disorders. If you see this hat and you think I'm wearing a KK, I'm a Puerto Rican man, right? My mother, Puerto Rican, my father was Puerto Rican. But look, I did my ancestry DNA and I'm going to show it one of these days, right? I got 33%, 31 to 33% African blood. I got, I think it's 12 to 14% Native American, or, you know, of the Americas, from Central to South and all of that America. I'm Indian. Actually, I'm more Indian than Elizabeth Warren. I should probably make a cookbook. Right? But if you're looking at this hat and you're triggered, you are the problem. You're the problem. It's insane how you have people who are triggered by a hat. And Alyssa Milano said these stupid comments because she thought that those young white men who fit into that stereotype that the left has created for Trump supporters. Now, guess what? I am not a young white man. All right? But instead of apologizing like a sensible human being would do, instead she doubles down and she won't apologize. You know, she wants to create this movement. And let me tell you something. People get attacked for these hats. So I blame Alyssa Milano for anyone out there who gets attacked while wearing a MAGA hat. I blame her because she's putting hate out there, encouraging people to actually look at the people wearing these hats a certain way. She should be better than that. This is the thing. The Democrats have lost their moral standing. They like to take this moral high ground. The problem is that they're standing in quicksand and they're sinking quickly. See, that's the problem. That the hate is coming from the other side. It's coming from the left. And it's funny because it's not that. It's recent that you heard about young black men wearing hoodies. You shouldn't think that because you're wearing a hoodie, you're a gangster, you're this or that. And you have the young man wearing the MAGA hat, standing quietly and smiling, and them judging him for standing there quietly, saying that him standing there, standing his ground, was an aggressive posture. So it's insane. What you're saying is that that young man doesn't deserve his right because he's white. But everyone else gets to act a fool over this hat. The black Israelites get to call them incest babies. That's the thing. Where is your high ground? You're sinking in quicksand and you're up to your neck. All right. Let me go to some music. You're listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM. Your home for community radio.
They take shots till you tired and you shoot some thorn. They fool around till you fuck around and do something tall. Better chill, man. From my block to your block, everybody shooting. They are. Hey. Don't walk around, we're gonna walk around and do something to you. And there's, listen. As the dark turned light, my day started like a margin. Jumping straight out of bed, cause I heard a gun sparking. Started alarming my peoples, waking them up. When I heard two shots from a window, a bugging matters. To make it simple, go by my window with shots. I bust 3 times, somebody said, "You want your back, huh?" I couldn't focus, eyes loaded with cold. But car pulled off real slow, doing about 5 or more. I started flipping, disrespecting my house. Snash about to start bugging, started hugging my spouse. I had to be out, no doubt. Investigator who was watching me, see who was plotting on me and why they was busting shots at me. In my crib had a balcony, I would've hit one and I would've ripped them. Cause my eagle fly straight for victims, I'm still flipping. Left out my crib with the fury. These crazy again, I would dead them in a hurry. Take shots till you tired and you shoot some thorn. Get em! Fit around till you fuck around and do something tall. Better chill, man. From my block to your block, everybody shooting. They are. Hey. Don't fuck around, we're gonna fuck around and do something to you. And there's. Shorty hard rock, he die hard with a vengeance. He got guns, he use them with good intentions. Like, you power forward, he back you down.
All right. My time is going. You're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news with Harry, aka The Brave, on WNHH LP. Streaming live from downtown New Haven. We're streaming live on Facebook Live. Just go to New Haven Independent's Facebook page or WNHH Radio's Facebook page. You could catch us on Twitter at WNHHLP. On YouTube, New Haven Independent. You can catch us everywhere. You can catch us on TuneIn Radio on the WNHHLP. Tell everybody. Share our links. Come on. Everybody needs to hear this. All right. Listening to Breaking News. All right. So let's get to some. This is what the media is putting out there. Right? I'm going to show you a couple of videos. And I know you love my hat. No, you can't have my hat. All right, so I'm gonna play a video here, and listen to what's going on in the brain of these pundits on TV.
I've never seen a man in elected office, let alone the presidency, dissemble, divide, misstate, and lie as often as this president has. So the idea that
He
he's
must have not heard
offended
Obama.
by things that aren't accurate, it's a little hard to believe.
Well, and not only is it hard to believe, it's hard to accept. I wish that for one moment, right, we can talk about what we see, because people are talking about, well, you know, what is happening right now as a result of what happened in this particular incident is our varying perspectives. And I think that's such a powerful point. Like, forget Donald Trump for a moment and just think about the symbol of that red hat. When I see the Make America Great Again hat now, Chris, I am triggered. I'm so triggered. Andre, I think in a lot of ways, our friendship has been compromised by the fact that you continue to support this man. The one thing I will say to you, to be absolutely fair, is more than anybody else that I know on this network, you will regularly take Donald Trump to task. I don't agree with you on this last point, but this Make America Great Again hat is just as maddening and frustrating and triggering for me to look at as a KKK hood. Like, that is the type of hatred
I would tell you
that his
this.
policies represent. And until we can have common ground and understanding about that, that it's that.
All right. And there you go. That's exactly what you're receiving. That's what you're receiving from these people. This hate. And they like to say that Trump hates. Trump hasn't said anything out there. Trump hasn't said anything out there that you could find that has this much hate. She's spewing hate. She told the man that her friendship with him has suffered because he supports Trump. That's her problem. I have family. I have a best friend who's now a distant friend because of this same reason. Because they can't get over the fact that they lost. They're saying that, look, the lowest unemployment rate for Hispanics, the lowest unemployment rate for blacks, the lowest unemployment rate for women. Let me tell you, we just had a report. This is the lowest amount of people applying for unemployment since 1969. Since 1969. What's that, 50 years? Donald Trump is helping everybody. When he said make America great again, he actually met America, and all the stats show it. You can look at any metric you want, and you'll find that everyone has been helped. Blacks, Hispanics, Asians. It's the lowest unemployment rate for Asians also. The hate is coming from these people. They are the hate-filled people. When Donald Trump was a Democrat, when he was on TV, everybody wanted to be his friend. All the hip-hop artists wanted to have Donald Trump in their video. All of them referred to Donald Trump. They all wanted to be billionaires. Now the left has creeped into your brain, and their propaganda is rotting your brain from the inside out. You guys are look at the last few years. Under Obama, the left was for a wall, for a barrier, a substantial barrier. Trump wants a barrier? No, it's racist, it's immoral. The problem isn't Donald Trump. The problem is the Democrats. They can't get right up here. They've lost their minds. The left wants protections for DACA. Okay, Donald Trump puts that on the table. No, they won't vote for that either. And just so everybody knows, because the media isn't reporting it, in the House of Representatives, the Republicans put up a bill to pay all the federal workers. And the Democrats voted against it. Only 10 Democrats voted for it. In the Senate, Mitch McConnell was bringing a bill to the floor to pay the Coast Guard. And Chuck Schumer blocked it. That's what's happening on the left. They're blocking everything that would help the federal workers who have been furloughed and the Coast Guard who's working for free right now. The Republicans have put bills to help them, and the Democrats said no. The hate is coming from the left. You're listening to Breaking News. Absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. I'm going to take a quick break. Be right back.
Kel's in the building with me, though. Huh? Smoking mirrors, but the Zilla got the straight vision after holding these ups down just like victims. Got a double notch to kick, you see the fam tripping. My shoulders RTB, we on the mission, pardon me. That bull be a DUV, you won't last like RG3, I guarantee. Money back and y'all don't want none of that. Treat it like leftovers, gotta keep it under wraps. Only at a concert would dudes be the ones to clap. The King's is back, you hear us clear, this ain't no mumble rap. Trump hand thoughts follow these walks like a Thundercat. Standing on my ego, high level to the money stack. I be trying to get it, they be trying to borrow. I see them with their hands out, I'ma see you tomorrow. Not the one to follow, drink the beer and swing the bottle. Roll a plank and get higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. Success, fill a hater heart with sorrow. If you side switch your dudes to get what you get. Me and Kel's got the force, come to sip. Trouble you quick, the mother side cats wanna run and hide facts. Small world, see me right where you at. Burn the J right in the front and I'ma be right back. See about what they talking so I know it's real. Fight now, you know the deal. I'll fuck the city up like I'm Cloverfield.
Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like how I tied my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. Dog, we never changed up. Dog, we never changed up. For 2 decades, we've been on the same stuff. Like how I tied my people, we done came up. Now let me mix the gin and tonic in the same cup. This shit easy, like reciting the alphabet. I'm the Omega, and you still ain't see the alpha yet. If raps might blow you fools out your sweats, leave you with a joker face just for coming out your neck. In the booth.
All right, you're listening to Breaking News on WNHHLP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio. And I'm Harry, a.k.a. The Brave. All right, I want to put up a quick video here. I know my time's running out, but it's important that you see this.
The aggressors. But then the extended footage was released that showed a group of black Israelites mocking the kids and the Native American. Take a look.
We are here to tell you what you have to do. You have to come away from the Lord. You have to come away from your religions, philosophies, and doctrines and start worshiping the true and living power, which his name is Yahweh. That's who's the most high God.
That's right.
Pompous bastards over there wearing Make America Great.
That's right. Lord Billy. Lord corny ass Billy in there.
Why are you not angry at that?
So many people admitted they made snap judgments before these other facts came in. But is it that we just instantly say that's what it is based on what we see in that moment and then have to walk stuff back when it turns out we're wrong? Why is that? Do we keep making the same mistake?
Because we're desperate to get Trump out of office. That's why.
Not everybody, though.
But what does that have to do?
I think that's the reason.
Oh, let me finish. Let me let it
I think the
finish.
press jumps the gun a lot because we have so much circumstantial evidence against this guy that we basically are hoping that, Cohen's got the goods and what have you. And so it's wishful thinking.
Right, but
There you go. And Joy Behar actually may have upset a lot of Democrats there because she let the truth out the bag, right? It's not about the kid. It wasn't about the kid and his MAGA hat. It's about them finding a way to twist the knife into Trump. Joy Behar actually said the truth. It's wishful thinking. And if that means tearing the life of this child apart, so be it, as long as we can use it against Trump. That's what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. See? And Joy said the truth there, right? She says the truth. And what do? They laugh it off. I got to give Whoopi credit because she didn't laugh it off. But the rest of them laughed it off. It's like the truth really hurts people. And it hurts them with they're so passionate about their hate. They could care less. They could care less about anything. All right, I got to get out of here. You've been listening to Breaking News, absolutely breaking the news with Harry, a.k.a. The Brave, on WNHH LP 103.5 FM, your home for community radio.
So you're a philosopher?
Yes. 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 I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply. I think very deeply.
In about 4 seconds, a teacher will begin to speak.
I think very deeply.
See ya!
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
Follow us and share. Hi, this is Bella. Hi, this is Bella. And you are listening. WN 8 L P 1 O G point 5 F
You say you've never been in love, so I ask you this.